Wisconsin, proudly known as the Dairyland of America, is celebrated for its exceptional cheese production, with cheddar reigning supreme. Beyond its dairy fame, the state offers a rich tapestry of attractions. Milwaukee, its largest city, is home to the iconic Harley-Davidson Museum and a vibrant beer culture. Meanwhile, Wisconsin Dells boasts the world's largest collection of water parks, drawing families from across the globe, and Door County enchants visitors with its picturesque landscapes and sprawling cherry orchards. Nestled within this natural beauty is the Ice Age National Scenic Trail, a testament to the state's glacial history and outdoor allure. Yet, beneath Wisconsin's inviting surface lies a darker side. Stories of struggles and challenges that rarely make headlines. Situated in the Great Lakes region of the Upper Midwest, Wisconsin is bordered by Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, and the vast waters of Lake Michigan and Lake Superior, covering 65,498 square miles. It ranks as the 23rd largest state in the United States. As of the 2020 census, Wisconsin's population stood at nearly 5.9 million, making it the 20th most populous state. Madison serves as the state capital, while Milwaukee is its bustling urban hub. The state is organized into 72 counties, each contributing to its diverse character. Economically, Wisconsin thrives on manufacturing, agriculture, and tourism. Its gross domestic product reached an impressive $413.97 billion in 2023, supported by a low unemployment rate of just 3.0% in 2024. Major corporations such as Northwestern Mutual, Fiserv, and Kohl's are headquartered here, cementing the state's role as a significant player in the national economy. Wisconsin also charms with its unique traditions and attractions. From the Noah's Ark Family Park to quirky events like the rope jumping competition in Bloomer and the snowmobile derby in Eagle River, the state's culture is a delightful mix of the unexpected. Even its official state pastry, the Kringle, adds a sweet touch to its identity. Despite its reputation for tranquility and prosperity, Wisconsin grapples with pressing social issues. Homelessness, human trafficking, high crime rates, and a growing drug epidemic are realities that overshadow the state's idyllic image. Milwaukee, as the state's economic and cultural heartbeat, often serves as the epicenter of these challenges. It's a city where gleaming skyscrapers and vibrant festivals coexist with harsh struggles in neglected neighborhoods. In the following exploration, we delve into 4 significant struggles facing Wisconsin: the harsh realities of life in impoverished areas, the exploitation tied to its nightlife, the violence driven by gang activity, and the pervasive grip of addiction. In 2023, homelessness in Wisconsin rose to 4,861 individuals, marking a 2% increase from the previous year. This uptick disrupted nearly a decade of steady decline, a period that had once sparked hope for meaningful change. The COVID-19 pandemic acted as a catalyst, exacerbating economic pressures, while surging living costs further strained vulnerable communities. Since 2014, the average home price has nearly doubled, and rental costs have climbed by 30% over the past 5 years, leaving affordable housing increasingly out of reach. This crisis is most evident in Milwaukee and Dane County, 2 areas that illustrate Wisconsin's stark contrasts in wealth. In Dane County, local initiatives have managed to slightly reduce homelessness rates, but economic pressures still ensnare many in cycles of instability. Milwaukee, on the other hand, has witnessed the emergence of makeshift homeless encampments in public spaces, like the Holt Avenue Park and Ride, where dozens of people now reside in tents or vehicles. The rise of these encampments can be largely attributed to the end of pandemic-era relief programs, including eviction moratoriums. Federal policies like the HEARTH Act of 2009 had successfully reduced homelessness during the 2010s, but their impact faded as COVID-19 relief funding dried up. Between 2021 and 2022 alone, the homelessness rate surged by 13%, underscoring the fragility of prior gains. This issue is far more than just a statistic. It's a human story. Those living in emergency encampments describe daily struggles to maintain hope amid difficult conditions. Homelessness is not solely a reflection of poverty, but also of systemic barriers, including inadequate access to social services and a lack of permanent housing solutions. Without bold policy interventions and sustained support, this shadow of inequality will continue to grow, starkly contrasting Wisconsin's broader economic progress. It is a sobering reminder that prosperity must extend to all for it to be meaningful.
But there are other people who don't choose that, and that can be a lack of affordable housing, that can be a lack of services. You know, we have people coming out of incarceration, we have people that are dealing with substance issues, we have veterans coming home.
Milwaukee, a key hub in the Midwest, has become an epicenter of human trafficking, particularly involving sexual exploitation. This grim reality is rooted in the city's strategic location and persistent poverty. Greenfield Avenue stands as one of the most notorious hotspots for prostitution, where women, often victims of trafficking, are coerced or manipulated into the sex trade, exploited by pimps and patrons alike. Deanne Lawson, director of the Inner Beauty Center, recounts the daily horrors faced by these women, describing the routine violence and abuse they endure. Many victims are lured or forced into sex work through drug addiction or psychological manipulation. Their backgrounds frequently involve fractured families and unresolved trauma, making them especially vulnerable. Meanwhile, the local community bears the brunt of this issue, as discarded needles, used condoms, and illegal activities create an unsafe and distressing environment for residents. Public outrage over the visible rise in prostitution has led to heated discussions within the Milwaukee Common Council's Public Safety Committee. Yet, legal responses often focus narrowly on criminalizing prostitution itself, overlooking the deeper issues of trafficking and systemic poverty. Compounding the problem is the difficulty in identifying victims, many of whom are either too frightened or unaware of their exploitation to come forward. Without addressing these root causes, the cycle of exploitation will persist, leaving an indelible stain on the city's efforts to foster safety and dignity for all.
The demand, people are here looking for it, and so then the supply is here.
Milwaukee's high crime rate has drawn national attention, ranking as the third most violent city among America's large urban centers. Incidents of homicide, aggravated assault, and robbery have been climbing steadily, driven by a combination of poverty, social inequality, and gang activity. One alarming trend has been the dramatic surge in car thefts, particularly targeting Kia and Hyundai models. This spike was fueled by a social media phenomenon during the pandemic, which led to a staggering 111% increase in vehicle thefts between 2020 and 2022. Milwaukee now ranks first nationally for car theft rates, a dubious distinction that underscores the growing insecurity. Beyond economic losses, these crimes often escalate into fatal accidents, further jeopardizing public safety and heightening fears in the community. The city also grapples with a long history of gang violence. Rival groups vie for control of the drug trade and territorial dominance, fueling a cycle of violent crime that has proven difficult to break. These activities not only contribute to the city's staggering crime statistics, but also stifle grassroots efforts to create safer, more cohesive neighborhoods.
Lots of flames underneath the vehicle.
Wisconsin, like much of the United States, has not escaped the devastating grip of the opioid and methamphetamine crises. In Milwaukee, many drug users come from marginalized communities with limited access to mental health care and rehabilitation services. Greenfield Avenue, already infamous for human trafficking, has become a glaring symbol of the intertwining drug trade and sexual exploitation. Drug houses in the area serve as gathering points for users, further deteriorating the safety and well-being of local neighborhoods. Beyond the city, small towns and rural areas in Wisconsin are battling a similar, if quieter, crisis. Methamphetamine abuse has surged in rural communities, fueled by social isolation and economic hardship. This addiction epidemic has left a visible mark, contributing to a rise in property crimes such as theft and burglary, which erode trust and security in these close-knit areas. While the challenges are vast, Wisconsin is not without hope. Federal funding has been allocated to support housing initiatives for the homeless, offering a lifeline to those most vulnerable. Organizations like the Inner Beauty Center provide emergency aid and resources to women trapped in cycles of sexual exploitation. Collaborative efforts by the Wisconsin Department of Justice and immigrant advocacy groups are also beginning to uncover cases of labor trafficking, an often overlooked issue tied to the state's economic inequality. Despite these initiatives, many of Wisconsin's darker realities remain unresolved, requiring long-term commitment and innovative solutions to truly make a difference. For those considering a move to Wisconsin, the state's challenges extend beyond social issues. Property taxes stand out as a significant burden, with a rate of 1.51%, making Wisconsin the 8th highest in the nation. These taxes heavily fund local governments, but often strain homeowners, particularly in economically fragile communities. Summers in Wisconsin bring their own set of struggles, with mosquitoes and ticks disrupting outdoor activities and posing health risks such as West Nile virus and Lyme disease. When winter arrives, it's a test of endurance. The harsh, long-lasting winters deliver heavy snow, powerful winds, and treacherous roads, increasing travel disruptions and the risk of power outages. Natural disasters are another concern. Tornadoes, floods, and severe storms frequently cause significant damage and endanger lives. For allergy sufferers, the state's high pollen and mold levels in spring and summer can be debilitating, with symptoms often interfering with daily routines and productivity. Moving to Wisconsin offers its own rewards: beautiful landscapes, rich culture, and a strong sense of community. However, it requires resilience and preparation. The challenges, from social struggles to natural adversities, demand thoughtful consideration and a willingness to adapt. For those ready to face these realities, Wisconsin offers a unique blend of opportunities and challenges, rewarding those who navigate its complexities.